Now let's see an example for the CIDR concept. So I'm having a problem here. Check whether the IP addresses given below, two sets of IP addresses are given, form a valid CIDR block or not. Let me write a valid, okay, whether it is a valid CIDR block or not. If it is valid, find the corresponding CIDR notation. So that is how I framed a question. So just look at the address. So how you will ensure that a given range of address is representing a valid CIDR block or not? We have three rules, right? Hope you remember. So what are the rules? All the IP addresses should be continuous and the block size should be a power of 2. The first IP address should be evenly divisible by the size of the blocks. So just verify these three rules. If all are okay, it is a valid CIDR block of address. So the first rule is the address should be continuous, right? See 32, 33, this part is fixed up to 47. It's continuously coming. So rule 1 is okay. We verified rule 1. Now what about rule 2? The size of the block. Tell me what is the size of the block. The address are from 30 to 47. Okay, so what is the difference? 47 minus 32, including the 47, right? Plus 1. So this many addresses are here, right? What is this? 32 plus 16, right? Yeah, 16. So that means there are 16 addresses. Now what is 16? 2 raised to 4. So the rule 2 says that the block size should be some power of 2. Okay, it is 2 raised to 4 only. So rule 2 is also okay. Now what about the rule 3? Rule 3 says that the very first address, that is this one, representing the block ID, I can call it as the block ID, just like the, if it is a valid block, just like the network ID and the subnet ID, block ID. The very first address, that is this one, should be evenly divisible by the block size, that is 2 raised to 4. So just instead of directly we have to take this address and divide by 2 raised to 4, see that the remainder is 0. No need to do that, because we know that whenever you are dividing a binary, here it is a 32-bit number with this 2 raised to 4. What is the remainder? Remainder is nothing but the least significant k bits. Here it is 4 bits. So just to see that those 4 bits are 0 or not, I need 4 0 at the end. Okay, and just to take the binary of 32. What is 32 in 8 bits? Okay, 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 4 and 2 raised to 5. Okay, so this is your 32. Now see the least significant k bits, that is representing the remainder, that is 0 only, right? So okay, rule 3 is also fine. So it is a valid CIDR block. Now if it is a valid block, find the CIDR notation. So what is a CIDR notation? That means the entire block can be represented like this entire block can be represented like the block ID, that is 100.1.2.32. That means the entire, like network ID and subnet ID, the whole block will be represented by the block ID. Now you have to be clear how many bits are there in the host part and how many bits are there in the network part. And that is not a fixed value, just like a classful scheme here. So it is varying. So what we know is, what is the size of block? 2 raised to 4. That means within a block, to identify each host within a block, we need 4 bits. So our host ID is nothing but 4 bits. So totally we have 32 bits. Out of this 4 bits are representing the host. Remaining 28 bits will be representing the network part, or the this 28 bits are going to identify this block as a whole. Okay. That means if you are writing this in binary also, these 4 bits are getting 0. All others are that means all the remaining 28 bits are together representing the block. So this is the corresponding CIDR notation. Okay. Similarly, we can try one more question. What is our rule 1? Rule 1 says that the addresses has to be continuous, right? It is 32, 33 up to 63. So okay, it is continuous. Now what about rule 2? Rule 2 says that the total size of the block has to be some 2 raised to k. How many addresses are there in this block? We have 63 minus 32, say plus 1, right? So there are 32 addresses, and this 32 is nothing but 2 raised to 5. That is rule 2 is also fine. So block size is 2 raised to 5. Okay. Now what about the rule 3? Rule 3 says that the very first address which we call as a block ID representing a block, should be evenly divisible by this 2 raised to 5. So to verify that, just to verify whether when you are representing this in 32 bits and you are dividing method 2 raised to 5, what is the remainder? The least significant 5 bits. That is what we seen in our rule. So just see what is happening in the least significant 5 bit, and this is 32 in binary is nothing but this, right? See, the least significant 5 bits are 0 only. That means the remainder will be 0. When you are dividing this with the 2 raised to 5, definitely the remainder will be 0. So rule 3 is also fine. Now, so all the rules are okay. It is a valid address, right? Now, if it is a valid address, you have to come up with the CIDR notation. So tell me, what is CIDR notation? The CIDR notation, that is block ID slash n. Block ID slash n. So what is a block ID? 20.10.30.32 slash, this n is nothing but how many bits are there to represent a particular block. Okay, so we know that within a block we have a 2 raised to 5 host. So to identify each host, I need 5 bits. So host ID is 5 bits. Now out of 32 remaining, 32 minus 5, there are 27 bits that will be identifying that block from the whole set. Okay, so this is our CIDR notation. Okay, that about classless addressing, and this is what we are following in our current scenario. And whether it is classful or classless, we have the overall problem of address depletion. Like with 32 bit, you can have a 2 raised to 32. Even though it is a big number, still when it is coming this IoT, where in all these things, we are even autonomous core, where every gadget in the internet is getting part of the internet, right? That means we don't, as of now, we need IP addresses for the laptops, computers and all, and future is like we will be giving an IP address for everything, right? So in such a scenario, this 32 bits will not be sufficient, even though it's a big number. And that is where people started thinking of a very bigger IP address, that is 128 bit instead of 32 bit. If it is 128, 2 raised to 128 combinations are possible. That is a very, very big number, right? So such a IP address is what we have as in IPv6. Okay, so that we may see in IPv6 portion. So as of now, this is about IPv4, the concept of subnetting, and even variable length subnetting and CIDR. Now in CIDR, that is in classless scheme itself, you can have a subnetting. That means you can take a particular CIDR block like this within your organization, and now you are getting say 32 IP addresses. Suppose the organization is having say 2 branches. One branch is in need of 10 machine, another branch is needing 10 machine. You can simply subnet it further. That is for the internal purpose, and that subnetting itself you can do in a fixed way as well as variable way. So all the things that we studied in classful scheme is applicable here also. And when it comes to subnetting, subnet mask will be something, this will be your default mask. Accordingly, the subnet mask or supernet mask, that will vary. Okay, thank you.